can see, I am not dead!
Hello, today JTeam will introduce you another film of Black Panther, Chadwick Boseman, an action thriller, 21 Bridges, in 2019. In New York, USA, there is a busy metropolis called Manhattan. It mainly consists of islands, has the most densely populated New York City. That day in the church a funeral is held for father of main actor Andre Davis, who died on duty. The boy, his son, swears that when he grows up he will also become a policeman to catch all the criminals here in Manhattan. 19 years later, Andre is mature and becomes an inspector. He solves the cases quickly, decisively, never has mercy on criminals who are against justice. In 9 years he has killed 8 criminals. That night, in an alley in Manhattan, a new BMW car appears. The two criminals, Michael Trujillo and Ray Jackson, put on masks, then takes a gun and enters a restaurant. They want to take 30 kilograms of the drug hidden here, but when they go downstairs, they are very surprised when finding on the shelves is all cocaine. Rough calculation, as it must also be up to more than 300 kilograms. They are still inside when the police are already waiting outside. The bandits have no other choice but killing all the policemen with silencers. Then they take 50 kilograms of cocaine, put it in the car and leave. On the run, the police frantically shoot and kill them. They are also not vegetarian. Shoot all the police, stopping them. At this time, Andre Davis gets a call. Immediately goes to the scene. The scene here is tragic. The people killed tonight are all in the army of Commander McKenna. So he is very emotional. He asks him not to investigate the scene but find the killer. Otherwise, they don't know how to say. With relatives of the dead policeman, he also introduces to him a female partner named Frankie. At this time, 2 drug robbers also arrive at the meeting place and meet the person who they ask to sell the drugs. After they get it, point the gun and shout at the boss that he says that drugs is only 30 kilograms, but there are 300 kilograms down there. They don't want to deal through this guy to sell the cocaine just stolen. They want to trade themselves instead. Then, Ray and Michael get into a new car and burn the old car with the lighter and bring 50 kilograms of drugs to sell. They want to get fake passports and run away, but the police find an image of the car, which the 2 criminals drive away before it is burnt. Andre discovers the car's way through photos from surveillance cameras. Finally finds the burnt BMW car in Chinatown. Andre asks to block Manhattan Island. He swears to catch the bandits before dawn. The police break the ex-girlfriend's house of the intermediary who hires 2 robbers. The girl panics because of being caught suddenly. It turns out that the car 2 robbers use is the girl's possession, but since it is her ex-boyfriend, she has nothing to hide. The girl immediately tells everything she knows to Andre. The police station immediately finds out the names of 2 robbers. They are used to be soldiers. Ray is good at shooting and Michael has strong point in planning. At this time, Ray and Michael change other clothes. Take 6 bags of cash to Audie. Let him help them to store money and make fake passports. At the police station, through face recognition, they discover that the person involving in Bush is at the Pan Am Club. Bush is killed by Butchko and Duggan, 2 policemen. Go to the first bar, shoot Bush on the spot. By the time Andre arrives, he is dead. Andre angrily gives Butchko a punch. Therefore, now he has no more clues. At the same time, Ray and Michael are waiting for Audie to make fake passports. Suddenly someone breaks the door outside. Audie slowly steps out and looks through the observation eyes on the door. He is immediately shot in the right eye. Ray and Michael also shoot back. After a surprise raid, the police are injured outside. Immediately notify McKenna. Andre hears him talking about having discovered 2 robbers, but he hasn't yet been able to ask why. He figures out that he instantly drives away from the bar crime scene. Audie now understands what is going on, tells Michael to take the USB from the computer. After that, the police shoot the lock with a gun to open the room, but Ray and Michael have escaped by climbing the roof, and Audie is also killed by a silencer shot. Andre and Frankie are really lucky. As soon as they arrive at Addie's address, they meet 2 bandits. Ray and Michael hide into a factory of pork processing, then they separate. Andre and Frankie also split up to chase. After the previous clash, Ray is injured. He is going to shoot Andre, but unexpectedly, the person who comes out first isn't him. So then he is shot by Andre and about to die. Before he dies, Ray tells Andre that he and Michael are not the same. Michael never kills innocent people before. Michael also knocks Frankie away with the gun. Then he makes her intimidate Andre, and tells Andre that someone is cheating. The police couldn't find them this quick. At first the police knock on the door very gently. They don't know that Ray and Michael are inside. and more than 300 kilograms of pure goods. Without a gang it is impossible to transport those goods, and he says that before he left. Audie gave him a USB stick. Andre takes the radio and calls the police to block the area, says that Michael knows the key points, requires to capture him alive. Michael then goes into a hotel, knocks out a guest, and takes that person's computer to view the contents of the USB. He finds a shocking fact, is that all members of the police team accept bribes, help drug traffickers transport drugs. Among them, the 85 Team Police, which McKenna is the commander, is the most bribed. The police discover Michael when he walks out from the hotel. When he is on the run, he is hit by a car and falls to the ground. It is Andre who covers the police car to save him. On his way fleeing, Frankie discovers him. Frankie also wants to hit Michael to death. It seems that this bribery she is involved. Finally, Michael jumps onto a subway. Andre also catches up with. However, he thinks that Michael won't actually get on the train. As expected, Michael steps down and looks behind. At the time the subway is closed. Then both of them enter the compartment at the same time. Andre is the only policeman who asks before shooting that evening. After hearing Andre's persuasion, Michael slowly lowers the gun in his hand. But right after, Frankie comes and shoots Michael. Frankie also pretends to be innocent, because he sees Michael trying to shoot him.
You didn't fucking see the gun down?
Frankie doesn't notice Michael with his last breath. Stealthily gives the USB to Andre. He walks out from the subway, pretends that the phone is out of battery, borrows Frankie's phone. It is true that she is always in contact with Commander McKenna. The bandits are all dead. The next day Manhattan is finally removed blockade order. The police's achievements are broadcast in the news, but in fact, the whole police in Manhattan is filthy. Commander McKenna returns home, and finds Andre waiting for him there. He has seen everything in the USB that Michael gave him. He discovers cooperation deal with drug dealers. That evening, the police group goes to the restaurant, mainly to help the drug dealer transfer that 300 kilograms away. For being afraid of everything can be out, McKenna sends his soldiers to kill the money launderer, Audie. Unexpectedly, Audie gives the USB to Michael. Until now, McKenna doesn't hide anymore. All these things, he says, is for the sake of the subordinate police's lives. His 85 team is always facing with dangerous missions, but they have meager income. There are people who are old but can't even pay the rent. People working in the office. Without embezzlement, how can they get money to buy house or car? But these words also don't convince Andre. He becomes police because he wants to arrest criminals and avenges his father. Financial difficulties in life can't be a reason to commit crime. At that time, McKenna's subordinate rushes to open fire, but gets shot by Andre. Final is a gunfight through a wooden door with McKenna, and he is shot by Andre.
Yep.
Don't do it.
This time, Frankie comes from behind of Andre. She is going to shoot him, but he says that think of your daughter. Because the contents of the USB is public. Even if she kills people, she still be arrested and sentenced to life. In the end, Frankie chooses to put the gun down, and is cuffed by Andre. Everything has also been stopped. Andre drives out of the town, where people are so deeply disappointed for a new land. He will never return here anymore. 21 Bridges is also the last movie of Chadwick Boseman. This is the last role he left. August 28, 2020. Chadwick Boseman passed away at the age of 43, at his home due to colon cancer. His life has many ups and downs, but there is also much brilliance. Although he isn't famous after many years of filming, only when he is seriously ill does reputation become popular. Black Panther, The Avenger 3, The Avenger 4. All are filmed during cancer surgery and chemotherapy. But Black Panther 2 hasn't begun yet, he is gone. Each life is short and they shine like a shooting star in the sky. From now on, there is no Black Panther in the world anymore. But there will be a Chadwick Boseman somewhere in heaven. Today's movie ends here. See you in movies later.
In my culture, death is not the end.